relative of mine who works as a teacher in a high school said, "One day I left the teacher's room and I saw two students talking near the room. It was time for the door, noon, prayer. One of them said to the other, 'Why don't you pray with us in the school prayer hall?' The other replied, 'I don't pray even at home, and to add to that, my family doesn't pray either.'" Subhanallah. She said this with such bluntness, audacity, and shamelessness. She said, "I don't pray." I ask you by Allah, what is the difference between her and the disbelievers? Allah spoke the truth when He said, "Then after them succeeded another generation who neglected the prayer and followed their desires, so they will meet a misfortune." Quran, Surah Maryam, 1959. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, explained that they neglected it means they didn't abandon it completely, but they delayed it from its prescribed times. Yes, may Allah protect you. Negligence and laziness. She doesn't pray Dhuhr until Asr, doesn't pray Asr until Maghrib, doesn't pray Maghrib until Isha, doesn't pray Isha until Fajr, and doesn't pray Fajr until after sunrise. This is the condition of those who are drowning in negligence. If a woman dies while in this state, Allah has promised her a deep pit of hellfire with a vast and intense heat. If the mountains of this world were to be moved into it, they would melt from its scorching heat. Can you bear that? Haven't you heard the words of the Prophet, peace be upon him? The covenant that distinguishes us from them is the prayer. Whoever abandons it has disbelieved. How many are the disbelievers among those drowning in neglect? And if asked about their names, they would claim to be like Khadijah and Aisha. But they lie by Allah, they lie, for they are drowning. Al-Dhahabi, in his book Al-Kaba'ir, The Major Sins, relates that a man buried his sister who had died. While burying her, a pouch of money fell into the grave, and he didn't notice. Later, he remembered and returned to the grave to retrieve it. But to his shock, the grave was burning with fire. He quickly covered it back and returned to his mother, weeping and sorrowful. He said, "Mother, tell me about my sister and what she used to do." She replied, "Why do you ask about her?" He said, "I saw the grave burning with fire." His mother began to weep and said, "My son, your sister used to be negligent in her prayers and would delay them from their proper times. Have you heard, O servant of Allah? This is the fate of those who delay their prayers. What then will become of someone who says, 'I do not pray, and my family does not pray either'? By Allah, there is no act of worship more beloved to Allah after the declaration of His oneness than the prayer. So, pray, may Allah bless you. Pray, may Allah protect you, before you are no longer prayed for. The one who abandons the prayer will not be prayed over, nor washed, nor shrouded, nor carried on the shoulders. She will be dragged on her face, and a hole will be dug for her in the desert, where she will be thrown face first. No one will pray for her, nor seek forgiveness for her. And Allah wronged them not, but they wronged themselves. Are you content with this? I leave the answer to you. For it is not the eyes that are blind, but the hearts in the breasts that are blind.